Coming up on Citrus TV News Live at 6, the University of Missouri president who came under fire recently has resigned.
President Obama and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had a meeting in the White House today.
And controversy is swirling around those new Starbucks red cups. Citrus TV News starts right now.
From the Citrus TV studios, this is Citrus TV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Hello and welcome to Citrus TV News Live at 6 for Monday, November 9th, 2015. I'm Claire Moran.
And I'm Topher Lane. The VP is coming back to his law school alma mater this week, and that's our top story. Vice President Joe Biden is visiting Syracuse this week. SU will welcome back one of its most notable alumni on Thursday. Biden will reportedly speak about preventing sexual assault on college campuses as part of the White House's It's On Us week of action. Biden will also be speaking about the campaign to the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, Clemson University, and Morehouse College in Atlanta. Syracuse police say a Syracuse University employee was charged with second-degree coercion and unlawful surveillance. According to the staff directory, 32-year-old Patrick Martin works in the Sadler Dining Hall. So far, officials have not released the actions behind the charges. Police are calling it a sensitive case.
11 young women competed in the 2016 Miss Syracuse Triple Crown competition in Baldwinsville this weekend. Miss Syracuse went to SU junior Megan Sinesy, but you probably know her as the Orange Girl, who baton twirls with the SU Marching Band. Miss Salt City went to Megan Cahill, and Miss Erie Canal went to another SU student, Jessica Borofsky. They will all compete for the Miss New York 2017 title later on this year. The Triple Crown competition was even co-hosted by former alumna and Miss Rhode Island, Allie Curtis. Christmas is coming early to downtown Syracuse. The Christmas tree arrived in Clinton Square earlier today. The parks crew is working to string thousands of LED lights for the centerpiece. The tree lighting, along with the Syracuse's Home for the Holidays program, will take place the day after Thanksgiving at 6:30 in the evening. Orange After Darks held some events this weekend, including Glow Golf and Laser Tag in Flanagan Gym. OAD has been trying to step up the amount of events they have this year by asking students to fill out surveys on what they want to see happen on the weekends.
And it's been very well received, she said. The students love it. And so because of that, she chose to put it on our schedule and try it in the gym. As you can see, it looks to be very successful. There was a line of about 120 students waiting outside before we even opened the doors. So I think that kind of shows us that it was a hit, and there's still students, hanging out and playing glow golf and laser tag.
A very special type of soccer came to Syracuse University this past weekend, and Nick Papantonis found out that being in a bubble doesn't always mean you're going to escape without a few bruises.
Soccer isn't known as a violent game until you add big plastic bubbles. Saturday evening, bubble soccer took over Flanagan Gym, sending people tumbling, rolling, and falling head over heels as a part of Orange After Dark.
What does it feel like?
It's very plastic.
It's weird. It's like being underwater with can't really hear anything.
It's definitely as violent as I thought it might be, and I think that the nature of the game is that people are going to fall over, people are going to bump into each other and end up on the ground, and they have a hard time getting up.
So I'm going to get the chance to go in one of these right now just before the event starts. It's a lot sturdier and a lot heavier than I thought it was, but we'll see how it is. Let's put it on.
And being the composed professional that I am, I decided to test the bubble against the much bigger Citrus TV sports anchor Seth Quam. There were rules in place for safety, so no one could repeat what I did, but participants said it met their high expectations from being one of the most anticipated events of the semester.
Didn't hurt as bad as I thought it would.
No.
Not as bad.
It was really fun just beating the crap out of each other.
We had to keep looking out for each other. We were always making sure our back was not turned to the other one because we were out to get each other.
Orange After Dark will continue its busy semester with a trip to Dave & Buster's on Thursday and Broomball on Friday. For Citrus TV News, I'm Nick Papantonis.
Thanks, Nick. Coming up on Citrus TV News Live at 6, the president of the University of Missouri has resigned from his post, as well as the chancellor, and we'll have more from his press conference when we return.
And President Obama and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met in the White House today to find out what was said when we return.
It was a bright and sunny, beautiful day here in Syracuse today. Temperatures were in the mid-50s. Tonight we're dropping down to the mid-30s with a slight chance of showers. Later this week, we're going to see some rain showers through every day this week. So if you're out, make sure you carry those umbrellas. And I'll have your full weather forecast when Citrus TV returns after the break.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
Another season of Orange basketball excitement will be here soon. Wisconsin, North Carolina, Notre Dame, and Pittsburgh are all due in the Dome. Will you be there when this happens?
One, lets it go, hits!
Will you be there when Dish happens? Will you be there when Swish happens? And Coach Q wants you there as well, as the women's team looks for its fourth straight NCAA tournament berth. Season tickets are on sale now at the Carrier Dome box office, Cuse.com, and 1-888-DOME-TICKS.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Three people were shot just before rush hour today near one of the busiest transit hubs in New York City. One of the victims died from his injuries. The two other victims were taken to a hospital and are in serious condition. Police say the shooting occurred 1 block north of Penn Station around 6 a.m. The cause of the shooting is still unknown, and there are no suspects at this time. Police are continuing to investigate. The president of the University of Missouri has resigned today due to racial concerns. This comes after 30 football players said they wouldn't play any games until President Tim Wolf was removed. The football team was standing behind black student groups on campus who had complained about racial issues for months, and one student even went on a hunger strike. The protesting students are now celebrating Wolf's resignation, and the football team will resume practice tomorrow. We also have breaking news that says the chancellor also has left his post, and we'll give you more updates possibly at the end of this broadcast.
I'm resigning as president of the University of Missouri System. My motivation in making this decision comes from love.
Customers dining at an IHOP restaurant received an unwelcome surprise. A large sinkhole opened in the parking lot of the Meridian, Mississippi restaurant. Officials say 12 cars fell into the sinkhole, but there were no injuries reported. Emergency officials say it was about 35 feet wide, 375 feet long, and 30 feet deep. Investigators say they are still unsure why the asphalt gave way. Two customers who contracted E. coli at Chipotle are suing the Mexican restaurant chain. Both Jessica Ellis of Washington and Chris Collins of Oregon filed federal lawsuits on Friday. Health officials say more than 36 people got sick with E. coli after eating at Chipotle restaurants. More than 40 of the restaurants remained closed in Washington state and in the Portland area. Authorities are still searching for the cause of the outbreak.
President Obama met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today in their first meeting since the Iran nuclear deal ended. During the meeting in the Oval Office, President Obama condemned Palestinian violence against innocent Israelis, while Netanyahu said that he still has not given up hope for an Israeli-Palestinian peace accord. President Obama made it clear in the meeting that Israel's security in the turbulent Middle East is a top foreign policy priority for the United States. 2 Americans are dead tonight after being shot by a former police officer in Jordan. According to a Jordanian news agency, the police officer shot 2 American contractors and a South African contractor at a training facility outside of Amman, the capital. 2 other Americans and 4 Jordanians were also wounded in the incident. President Obama expressed his condolences today.
Obviously, a full investigation is taking place. We take this very seriously, and we'll be working closely with the Jordanians to determine exactly what happened.
The leader of an ISIS-affiliated terrorist group was killed in Egypt today. Egyptian media reported that Ashraf al-Gharibali was involved in a shootout with security officials at a checkpoint in Cairo, where Gharibali was wanted for arrest. He is a member of the group who claimed responsibility for the Russian plane crash that killed more than 200 people in October. Officials named Gharibali as the mastermind behind several organized attacks in Egypt. Russian track and field athletes could be banned from the 2016 Olympics. In an independent report from the World Anti-Doping Agency, the team has allegedly been involved in a state-sponsored doping program. The report said that Russia has had a culture of cheating on all levels within Russian athletics. The report raises questions of whether this was ongoing during the London 2012 Olympics. The agency is recommending that the Russian Federation be suspended from the 2016 Olympics. It's going to be a rainy week here in Syracuse, and Citrus TV weather reporter Brittany Muller is here to tell us when we're going to need to break out those raincoats and umbrellas. How are you doing, Brittany?
I'm doing well, thanks Claire. Today temperatures were in the mid-50s. Bright and sunny, beautiful day, but not as warm as that 70-degree weather we experienced last week. Winds are out of the southeast at 4 miles per hour. We are a couple degrees warmer than the average for this time of year at 51 degrees. Tonight we'll drop down into the high 30s with a 20% chance of rain. Winds will be light at 3 miles per hour. And here's a look at the temperatures across the U.S. You can see along the East Coast right here, very cloudy and rainy. You could see in Chicago 54 degrees and further west at Boise, 46 degrees. And now looking at the precipitation forecast for the next 48 hours. The east region of the country is going to experience some rain, up to an inch of rain, while further west we could see getting a mix of rain and snow. Now looking at the Intellicast radar, you can see this rain pushing in here. We'll experience that for the rest of the week, so you can expect that. And you could see tomorrow, 55 degrees. The high will be 55, rain all day, winds are out of the northeast at 6 miles an hour. And I hoped you soaked in that sun, because we won't see any sun until next week. Here's the weather for the week. Tuesday, again, rainstorms. Wednesday, rain, more rain, 52 degrees. Thursday, 58 degrees. Friday, 50. And Saturday, 46 degrees. But by Monday, we'll see that rain again.
So Brittany, obviously it's hanging around 50 degrees. Should we expect to see that weather hanging around, or is it going to start to get colder sometime soon?
Yeah, we're just going down and up through those, it's going back and down, so up and down. So we're going to maintain that for the next few weeks. So we'll see that nice weather, and then hopefully the sun will be out next week.
And so the million-dollar question here in Syracuse is always, what about that snow factor? So what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, nothing in the forecast just yet. Later on, when the temperatures drop down, that's when we'll start seeing snow.
All right, thanks, Brittany. Coming up on Citrus TV News Live at 6, Hillary Clinton spoke about changing restrictions on marijuana over the weekend.
And live from New York, it's Donald Trump. That and more on the road to 2016 when we return.
I've got a job to do today.
I've got a job to do today.
First day at work, Mom.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in your community.
Feels good to start fresh, right?
Sure does. And like that, you're a job creator.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Cheers. Take time to be a dad today.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Donald Trump hosted Saturday Night Live this weekend, bringing NBC its highest-rated SNL since 2012. However, some critics weren't impressed with Trump's performance. Some called his work mild and predictable. The highlight of the night was when Larry David called the GOP frontrunner a racist during one of the sketches. Trump will be back on the small screen Tuesday night for the 4th Republican debate. And going into the GOP debate on Tuesday, Trump is narrowly leading Ben Carson in the newest Quinnipiac University poll, 24% to 23%. And Marco Rubio, who has recently come under fire over his spending habits on GOP charge card he was given, is just ahead of Ted Cruz in the poll, 14% to 13%. The debate will be held in Milwaukee and will air on Fox Business Network tomorrow at 9. Hillary Clinton has proposed loosening restrictions on marijuana. At a rally over the weekend, the Democratic frontrunner said she would change the classification of marijuana in order to promote research.
I would like to move it from what's called Schedule 1 to Schedule 2 so that researchers at universities, at the National Institute of Health could start researching what's the best way to use it. How much a dose does somebody need? How does it interact with other medications?
Holiday season red cups at Starbucks are causing controversy this year. Critics are accusing the company of waging a war on Christmas. Starbucks has removed symbols of the Christmas season used in the past, like reindeer and ornaments. Starbucks vice president said the company wants to welcome all holiday stories with a more pure design. Many customers have expressed their disappointment in the change of design. Starbucks has responded by saying it is trying to create a culture of belonging. SeaWorld will begin phasing out its famous killer whale shows. A SeaWorld executive said shows at the San Diego park will end by 2017. The company received backlash ever since the documentary Blackfish was released. Blackfish criticized SeaWorld's treatment of killer whales in captivity, but SeaWorld's CEO cited customer feedback as the reason. The park will now offer a different orca experience with more natural settings.
Coming up, we've got all your SU sports from the weekend. That means a little football, basketball, soccer, and field hockey. Stay with us.
And Tommy can't dance, so we're gonna put some ants in their pants. Aww.
Kids will spend 22 minutes watching us, the super duper party troopers, sing about ants in their pants.
Isn't that funny? Ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing.
The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
As the football season is winding down, it's crunch time for the Orange, but the team has been unable to take home a win in over a month and a half. The Orange traveled to Louisville, Kentucky this past weekend, and again, didn't get what they came for. Let's take a look at how SU ended up extending its record to include 6 straight losses. And we start off with a nice sideline shot of athletic director Mark Hoyle. But getting to the game, we see quarterback Kyle Boland's pass up, but wait, it's intercepted by Cordell Hudson, who takes it for a good run before heading out of bounds. This drive led SU to a touchdown by Irv Phillips. SU and Louisville tied 7-7 in the first. Next up, we have Eric Dungy, who throws pick 6 to Tremaine Washington. He takes it 39 yards, giving the Cardinals a 14-10 lead with 5:42 left in the second quarter. And not long after, a 13-yard pass here by quarterback Kyle Boland to take Cole Hicatini into the end zone, 21-10 Louisville. And finally, 4:21 left in the fourth. Eric Dungy rushes for 16 yards, but he's hit hard by Louisville's James Earns. You can see here, Dungy's a little shook up in the head, sitting on the bench when we get to it. There we go, Dungy sitting there. Final score, Louisville 41, SU 17. On the brighter side, there's always men's basketball. SU faced off against Florida Southern in its second exhibition game on Sunday. Again, a few freshman players stood out, especially point guard Malachi Richardson, who led the team with 18 points. But before SU plays its season opener against Lehigh on Friday, let's see how the Orange built up their confidence against the Moccasins in Sunday's matchup. SU getting pumped up here, and first up, Malachi Richardson receives the pass from Trevor Cooney at the top of the key. His jumper is good. SU leads 2-0. Then Florida Southern's Tyler Ross receives a pass down low. The layup is good, but SU still leads 10-2. And Tyler Roberson here swings it to freshman Tyler Lydon, and then Caleb Joseph, three-pointer is up and it's good. SU leads 26-5. And here midcourt, steal from Tyler Roberson. He passes to Michael Benajay. Alley-oop to Malachi Richardson is good again. SU leads 47-13. And in the second half, Trevor Cooney throws a give and go on the inbounds pass. The three-pointer is good. SU again always leading 64-27. Florida Southern's Dylan Travis with the turnover leads to a fast break for freshman Franklin Howard. His dunk is good. SU finishes 96-54. A nice win for SU in its second exhibition game at the Dome. 6 players finished with the game with double digits, but what's even nicer are all those threes the Orange made. Citrus TV's Chris Thompson has more about the team's strength in scoring points from beyond the arc.
Syracuse's season high in three-point attempts last year was only 24, and in its 2 exhibition games this season, the Orange hasn't only surpassed that number, they've blown by it. Against Lemoyne, Boeheim's squad fired 32 shots from downtown, and yesterday against Florida Southern, Syracuse attempted 29 from behind the arc, making 14 of them in a blowout win.
Well, I think we've got guys that can shoot, and I think that Caleb has really improved his shooting as well. I think Tyler Lydon can also shoot, but Malachi has been known as a shooter since 8th grade. That's what he does, and he's a very good shooter.
Anytime if I look over and I see Malachi wide open, I feel confident that he's going to knock the shot down, just like he should feel confident that he's going to make it.
Thanks to its abundance of shooters, Syracuse could fire more threes than ever before this season. Reporting for Citrus TV, I'm Chris Thompson.
Who doesn't love when the underdog wins? SU men's soccer made a big statement over the weekend in its nail-biting win against number 5 UNC. The teams were tied 1-1 after 110 minutes of play and 2 overtime sessions. 4 clutch penalty kicks by the Orange ultimately decided its fate. For the second year in a row, redshirt junior Liam Callahan converted the go-ahead penalty kick to send SU to the ACC tournament semifinals, which will take place this Wednesday against number 2 Clemson. SU field hockey experienced its first blip of sadness in an otherwise storybook season this weekend. The number 1 seeded Orange faced off in a tough matchup against number 3 UNC. Ultimately, the Orange couldn't stop the Tar Heels from scoring an overtime goal to clutch the ACC championship. But SU can still hold its head high as it has officially secured the top seed in the NCAA tournament, which starts this Saturday.
So, Taryn, SU basketball is starting up. How do you feel about these freshmen this year?
You know, I think Malachi Richardson, as I said earlier, he's a big one for this team. Coach Boeheim in the press conference said he's been known as a shooter since 8th grade, and he's really been making those shots. He looks comfortable. He's passing the ball well with his teammates, and he's making the shots. So I think in the season opener against Lehigh, we're going to see more of him, and it's going to be good.
Thanks, Taryn. And here's what's coming up on OTN after Citrus TV News live at 6. We'll be right back.
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple. It's like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Really?
Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
So, Brittany, what do we wear when we wake up tomorrow morning?
Throw on a pair of jeans, don't forget the rain boots, a sweater. It'll be 54 degrees and rainy.
All right, thanks, Brittany. This weekend in Poland, the world's largest reconstruction of the Titanic was put on display, but it definitely wasn't made of the same materials as the original Titanic.
That's true. This one was made of more than 500,000 Legos. It's a 1:25 scale of the original ship.
The exhibition also included various Lego models of Star Wars ships, the Statue of Liberty, and other famous world landmarks. Some of the models even move.
And one Lego robot is even working on solving a Rubik's Cube.
The exhibit opened this weekend, and if you're in Poland anytime soon, it will be open every day from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Sundays, and public holidays until February 7th. And I'm excited. I love Legos. I'm going to make my trip to Poland. But that's all the news that we have for now. Make sure you're back tomorrow at 6 for SA Today with Josh Bazan.
And for more content around the clock, make sure you follow us on Twitter at CitrusTV News and like us on Facebook while you're at it.
I'm Topher Lane.
And I'm Claire Moran. Have a great night, Syracuse.